Hello and welcome back to Frogboy X1 Gaming. I'm Andrew, and today I want to talk about the reviews that we've seen for PlayStation VR 2. Now, I've watched a few of them, and let's just put it this way. I haven't seen anybody really raving about visuals. I have heard stuff like screen door effect, motion tracking for the controllers going out, just like the foveated rendering not being that great, the thing, rendering at 60 frames a second and then pretending to be 120 frames a second, giving you ghosting effect. $550 freaking dollars for PSVR 2. I don't have any of those issues with my MetaQuest 2 running to my PC. Frankly, I actually just bought some software to run my PSVR on my PC, and I was running that just before taking the kids to do we're out taking the kids to do their registering for junior high and stuff. And man, I'm frustrated because I almost bought one of these things for the channel, and if I ever did buy one, literally it would be for Gran Turismo 7. I'm not saying that I want PlayStation VR to fail. Like, I don't. I want them to be good. I want it to be an experience that's worth your money, especially when Sony wants you to pay $550 for this, and it doesn't even have backward compatibility. You got to wait for developers to upgrade your games and stuff like that. I've got a lot of money invested in PSVR 1. I am personally the target market for VR. I like VR. Like, I love VR for only for sim racing. And I mean, like, some games like Half-Life Alyx 2, there's some other stuff that I've played that I do like, Beat Saber, stuff like that. I do think that there is a potential for VR to be good, and with racing games, like, you have to have a high frame rate. And the fact that the PlayStation VR 2, I already knew this was going to be a problem. Like, I already felt like this was going to be a problem. The fact, and most of that comes down to the fact that they're using a USB Type-C. Now, the USB Type-C for the MetaQuest 2 works perfectly. It works good. I really like it. I think it is, it's adequate enough to give me what I need from my PC, so that I can play my sim racing games. That is the biggest thing for me. But the lofty claims that PlayStation has for this PlayStation VR 2, no, man. I mean, like, if you want to put it in the big picture mode or whatever and play 2D games on it, it's 1080p. 1080 freaking P. But you do get 120 FPS support, and you also will get, like, HDR. So that's pretty cool. There are some cool things about it, like having, like deep blacks, all of that, because of the OLED screen. But man, LCD are just better. LCD are just better for VR. They are. My original PSVR 1 has OLED screens. My MetaQuest has the LCD. When I was racing today in the PlayStation, in the PSVR 1, man, I started getting sick. I was doing the same rally that I was doing in before we left. I was doing the same rally that I did last night on the MetaQuest 2. And man, I was getting sick. It was like something going on with the way that screen was. Or maybe it's just not, giving me a good frame rate, because I think it is kind of locked at 90 frames a second. There, it does go to 120, but I don't know if it was working. I don't know if it was necessarily working on there, but man, I don't know. All I want is a quality VR headset. That's why I'm just gonna stick to PC, because I feel like I can get more bang for my buck. Most of those PC VR headsets are going to hook up with HDMI, so you're going to get better signal quality out of that than you're ever going to get out of a USB-C cable. It just, yeah, I don't know, man. I'm so glad I didn't waste my money on this thing, because dang, dude, dang. I heard, and I watched some prominent people. I watched ACG. I watched some other guys. I watched a lot of the, the guys that do VR, and a lot of them have the same problem. The same problem is just, yeah, dude, play the Horizon game feels like another tech demo. And that's pretty much what PlayStation games are going to be for that thing is tech demos. They're going to be really pretty tech demos, but then all your other software is going to be like indie developers and all of that stuff, and they're not going to have the same visual quality. So I mean, you're going to be stuck with another product that just isn't going to. I don't know, man. I don't want to say it's DOA because I want it to do good. I want there to be more investment into VR experiences, but as it sits right now, I think the biggest thing for VR is sim racing, and I think a lot of people, I think a lot of sim racers are more out to buy VR headsets. If Sony would unlock it and make it possible for this thing to work with a PC, I would definitely buy one. I would definitely buy one and use it. But as it sits right now, attached to the PlayStation 5, that can barely do 4K at 30 frames a second. I don't know, man. I do not think that is a good investment if that thing can't be cracked. And I've read some other stuff saying that the way it hooks up, because the PSVR 1 hooks up through the HDMI port. So yeah, dude, I just don't think maybe they should have done another HDMI port hook up through it. Maybe they should have done another breakout box instead of trying to do it through that cable. I just feel like that is the crux of the problem for that thing. And I don't think that it's going to be any better than a MetaQuest 2 long run, especially with third-party games. Sony games might be pretty good, but I don't know, man. That's my thoughts on it. I'm not trying to kick it. I do want it to do good, but at the same time, man, I don't see myself buying one unless it gets support for PC, and native support, like Sony support. Sony being like, yeah, dude, we will allow this to be used on a PC, and we will make the software for it so that it is a good experience. So if you guys like this content, don't forget to like and subscribe, man. I'll see you guys in the next one, probably a little later. As soon as I get home, I'll make some more content. I'll see you guys in a little while. Bye.